Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the £5 million farm challenge on Attingham Park with me, Simulation for the Nation. In today's video, we now have a large number of the challenge rules in place. We're going to walk through what some of those look like. We're raking silage up because we're going to bale it in the moment we've started. I am opting not to do too much with the hired worker right now because money is dwindling and I need to be strategic with how and when I'm going to use that. So for right now, we're cracking along. We're doing it ourselves. We've got a big rake out. This is the last field of silage that is cut, and then we are 2 more fields left to go for hay over this end and 2 fields down by the farm as well to do. So still a little bit left. I'm going to try and just cut this a little bit short because there is a bale in the corner there. And yeah, so we're making some good handy progress here. Just taking a bit of an intermission from doing any more cereal harvest there, since we got the last field done and dusted, just so we can actually turn our attention to get this hay done as well. There's a field of hay over there tedded and raked up, ready to go. That will be baled as soon as we finish this one, but I do want to get the silage started so it can ferment and we can just, well, forget about it really. I think that's what we need to do. We need to get over there a bit more. But yeah, we're flying along. As you can see, not much of this field left. We're making some good progress. Good few bales knocking around as well. We're having to really stretch out all the different machines to do different jobs. Hence the reason why there's a 7610 on the baler, which we're going to jump onto very soon. But I love it. I think it looks very good. It's a cool, lovely bit of equipment there. It looks just incredible on the back of that. So we are going to just keep rocking on with it. And I think we'll do... It does everything we need, really. We've got a lot of little bits and pieces, a lot of errands to do really, and tidy up jobs of like fetching seed from point A to point B, and we will get those all done probably in the next live stream, which are now working again, which is fantastic news to share with you all. They are all functioning as we'd expect, so that is just great for the time being at least. And then we are going to be hopefully videos coming out on Thursday. Hopefully we'll be all back in with our live stream on Sunday though, despite perhaps going through a bit of a machine overhaul in the next few days. So we'll see what that looks like anyway. But for right now, yeah, I'm very pleased with how we're getting on. Like I say, lots and lots to do, but it's all good. It's all very productive. Thank you to all of you folks who have commented with new suggestions for rules. There's been some really good ones. We're going to run through what some of those look like just about now. And as always, I'll be flashing them up on screen here, and we'll be taking a bit of a better look into it. Now the first one here is an interesting idea, and I think we're gonna have to look into how we'll replicate or implement this, to be honest. But it is from Farmer Matty, and it's got like an idea for the series, and that would be a government subsidy for each year. Now the current scheme is ending in 2024 in the UK, so here's my idea. In the first year, the subsidy would be between 50,000 and 80,000, and then for the following 2 years it would reduce by 50 and 30%. And then after the 3rd year, the scheme ends and there's no other scheme begins. Oh, and another begins with a specific set of tasks. So it's an opportunity for us there to as you would in real life, to capitalize on government subsidies that will allow us to get a little bit more input and revenue there. So that's going to be interesting. We need to look at how that's going to work, but I like the idea of that. There we go, all followed up. Next one up there is going to be very topical actually. It's from Flashy Massey. A good rule will be no auto load trailers for moving bales. Something that's very topical because we have a lot of bales around here, which I think again makes a lot of sense to me really. I think it'll be a perfect one to add in there. So that is a definite for me. If you want to play realism as well, I think you have to really factor that in. So that's exactly what we'll do. So as of now, not that we have any, no auto load trailers in the save game. And I think what we're going to do... let's just take this back to the yard quickly actually, because that way then we can show you a few more of the updates from the live stream there, and then bring back a telehandler and hopefully a bale wrapper as well. So we build these up with grasses to be wrapped up as well. You'll see we now have a second cattle yard, which is exciting. We added one into here there just to get a little bit more revenue coming in really. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how this little area is starting to come together. I need to figure out why I can't place the objects down, but I will do that. But ultimately, cattle yard, there is a solar farm, or a solar turbine and a wind turbine there, along with fruit trees surrounding it. So lots of good news there. We put a road in as well, so we can work our way around the side of the field. So this should really allow us to have a bit of a place that we can drive through, which is always important. without, because eventually this may well be plowed over and put into a crop, so we just don't want to drive through this. And we're looking good. We finished that field of barley that were in there, and we've also baled up a little bit of straw, so we're starting to get some of those jobs that we'd started wrapped up a little bit, which is good, and it's looking a little bit better for it in my opinion. Not many bales though. These are, when I'm baling straw and hay, I do go to the largest bale size there, so they are pretty big bales, but that being said, there's still not a great number of them, so that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. Listen to the roar of this New Holland here. It's incredible. Sounds beautiful. Yeah, nice to have this field done. This is going to get cleared and drilled into OSR, as is the other field that the combine's finished. There's a lot of straw to bale up there as well, so we'll have to get cracking along with that sooner rather than later. And we're starting to keep a hold of all of our grain in the silo there, which reminds me of the next rule. And this rule is by Pestro, who says, idea for rule: every harvest you should pay back a certain percentage of what you make, e.g. you make 1,000, I guess is that liters, or is that currency, and you pay back 10,000, which is a really good idea. So right now, for example, our chickens have arrived and they have food as well. That's exciting. Right now we have got in here 51,000 liters of barley and 6,500-ish liters of oilseed rape. We're going to let that continue to grow, and we're going to fill that up with everything that we've got. And then when it's the right time to harvest it, because this rule coincides really with another rule, which is by Steve. And it says, hey, SFTN, hope you're good, buddy. A rule you could have is every 50,000 pounds you make, you got to pay back 5k or 10k out of a minimum to bring your 5 million loan down. So I think we're going to combine those two rules together, and we have to leverage and have to pay back at least 50% of everything that we earn has to go straight onto the loan. The rest we can keep for buying things like seeds, for fuel bills, for hired worker costs, for upkeep, but we have to pay back 50% of what we earn immediately, and then we'll see. After that, we can see if we've got a lot more money left over there, then great, we can put a bit more in there, but that means that we'll have to think about how we're going to balance out machine costs and how we're going to look to slowly grow the farm. So a little bit more tricky, but I like it. Someone did also mention if we should change this out for a grain shed. In theory, we could, yes. This is a lot easier, a lot more versatile for storing different varieties of grain in there. So I think we'll keep that for now, but you never know. And we jump back into this older tractor. And the reason we've done this is because James T. Richardson came in with another rule here. Had two ideas for a rule. Only using tractors from 1950 to 2010. Just obviously fits in there, and whatever telehandler you want. And I think this is a nice rule because it means that obviously we're already going to be looking to fill in inside that 200 horsepower range, and why not go for some of the older equipment there? In theory, it should be cheaper. We should have a little bit more variety there, and in theory as well, running costs should be a little bit less. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're just going to park this here for right now because, oh Lord knows, we're not finished with it yet. And in keeping with the old tractor theme, Samuel suggested a really good rule actually. Another rule should be you only have GPS on more modern machinery, not old tractors, only ones from 2000s or newer, which I think makes a lot of sense to me. This has GPS screen inside it, so we have the GPS on here. The John Deere 7810 has GPS, but the rest of the tractors, the Massey 3125 does not, the Ford 7610 certainly does not. I think that's exactly how we're going to keep it. It's a little bit more realistic. Yes, you could get some retrofitted kind of aftermarket models there for older machines, but we're just going to keep it as a general rule that if it's an older machine, it can't have it. All right, so we're going to head on back over to the area that we're silaging in. I'm going to see if we can actually drag over the bale wrapper with this telehandler, because that would make a lot of sense. And that way it's not just a wasted trip. So we'll get this all hooked up, hopefully, and then we'll see how we get on. There you go. Can't really go inside the cab for this well because there isn't a cab, so we'll make do. Hopefully this will work. Otherwise, it's going to be a long, slow old drive over for this. Yes! Things you love to see. Number one, that. Alright, well, onwards. So yeah, we're going to stack a few bales over by that yard so it's just a little bit easier so we don't have to drag them backwards and forwards to make it work there, but that should be good enough for us. And then we'll get back into 7610 and crack on for the rest of the evening there. There's a lot to do. There's the combine parked in the grass field there with the header trailer ready to be moved. As you can see, that field's all done. Straw's down on the deck ready to be baled. We will get to that. Like I say, I just wanted to get the silage done so it can start fermenting. I think that's more time sensitive and we've got to be careful about that. I'm going to stick one bale of grass into the cattle just so they have something to chew on, and we'll get them going. Milk is something we're going to have to think about. We don't have a milk tanker at the moment, so I do need to think about what that looks like to get a hold of one, and we will look to do that pretty quickly. We have a few fields left to harvest still. Big field of sorghum up here, which we'll need to get cracking along with. Then we've got some beans in 33, and then 28 and 29 both have, I think one has oats in and the other one has wheat in, so still a bit to go at. Once we get all this grassland knocked down, mowed and baled over here, we will be looking into ploughing in one field, I think. We've got a heck of a scene of hay over here, and we'll have quite a bit for the other yard as well, because we've got another couple of fields to cut, and then we'll try and get some more second cut silage off that as well if we can. It's getting a bit late in the year, but we'll try our best. But otherwise, we'll be good. We're just gonna park this up at the main yard there for now. And then we'll get cracking with it. Saves me walking over anyway. At some point, I think we'll put a hedge in here. There's something not quite right with the game save where it's not allowing me to place anything down at the moment, but I will look at that and figure out why, and then we'll be good. But yeah, lots of storage space around here. The cattle shed is full. I think it's got 45 cows in at the moment. And then we need to just take, once we finish with the baler, we're going to take the 7610 with a trailer on to the store, because over at the store is our seed and our front loader. We're going to bring back a bit of the seed on the trailer to here for the sheds. We have all of our seed and fertilizer that we can use on the yard purchased. So that is going to be an interesting challenge. So we need to be very precise with where we're going to put that. That's a good little setup actually. Very useful. And yeah, like I said, if you want to see more about that one, then check out the live stream that we did over on the weekend there, or on Tuesday, and we'll build ourselves up into that. But between now and then, hopefully the cattle are going to start to generate quite a lot of slurry. We need to get a slurry tanker if we're going to use that seriously moving forward, and we will see. But the aim right now is to get this field baled. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bales there. Two more fields to cut down here. One big field. 19's the fair size. 20 we'll have to get over we put another bridge in to get to that one, and 17 as well is ready to go. But look at this. Doesn't this just look epic? Delightful. Absolutely delightful. And we'll lower that down. We're in too high, and away we go. Light work, as they say. And we will get this all done. I've already seen the mistake that I made. I'm going to have to bring the rig back. I left a bit in the corner, which I was adamant that I wasn't going to leave. I might just get turned into hay. There, we bailed the headland off just to make it a little bit easier to turn with the rake, and we'll fly through this field really. Nice wide swaths. Allows us to book it up and down pretty quickly. We should be good. This is not a baler's man's tractor though. A lot of clutch work in this. But anyway, out she goes. And away we go. And that, folks, is how we're going to be cracking along to finish up this afternoon here on the 1st day of September. We're currently rocking along on 5-day seasons there, and I think that's why we're going to keep it throughout the year, which will hopefully allow us to be a bit more productive through the winter months. We'll have to see if we can actually maintain that and stay true to that, but we will. Right now, at least, though, gives us a good amount of time to get all this harvested, and also get things like some of the winter crops drilled as well, which is going to be soon quite a time-sensitive task, I think. But we will crack on. Obviously, we're in cab because we have to be. And we're flying, frankly. Absolutely flying. We're nearly there with all the rules, like I mentioned. We've still got room for a little bit more, I think. If you have any more suggestions, do drop them in the comments down below there, and we'll see what we can do. If I like them, as always, I'll heart them, and I will maybe even comment on them as well. And then we will see how this develops, and then start to see in the description box for this video that the rules are all starting to fill up there. So let me know what your suggestions are. Until next time, though, we're going to leave it here. We're just going to keep pushing along. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have, and you've yet to do so, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more. I've been Simulation for the Nation. This has been the £5 Million Farm Challenge on Attingham Park, and we'll see you in the next one. Catch you later.